Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 11 of Spiritfarer, and a special early hello to Dougler. Dougler, I hope that your Wednesday is going okay. Got the day off from work, as well as the next couple of days, so I figured what better way to spend the time than to simulate doing work and earning money to afford the things that I need. Seems like a great great way to spend a day off. No, seriously, I'm very much enjoying this game, and it felt like a great sort of like mid-afternoon game to jump into on what is currently a very hot and steamy day. We are 35%. Oh, I never looked at the list of spirits. Yeah, look, we've got Gwen. I never looked at this before. Gwen, who is that after Gwen? And then we've got Gustav, Alice, Uncle Atoll, Summer, the bull guy whose name I just can't remember him. And then I assume that last person, oh, that's Astrid, and then at the end that would be shoot, what's his name? Giovanni. Yeah, I never looked at that. I was always just looking at the request completed list. Sorry, let's jump in. Dougler did not go into work 3 nights in a row. Barely avoiding heat stroke is not fun. Dougler, I do not know your work, and I do not know the circumstances of your employment. What I can say is that if there must be a choice between your personal health and the job, your personal health has to come first. Because if you sacrifice that for the job, how do you move forward from that? So I would take any actions necessary to stay safe, especially in a situation where heat stroke right now is so prevalent across the country. There's a lot of areas of the country that are very, very hot, and without getting too far onto a different topic, some states here in the United States have recently rolled back any sort of protections to enforce work breaks or access to water or anything like just, yeah. Who can say? I don't know. Let's pull up our shoes and items. Empty shells and empty bottles are what we grew in the garden today. Those were our odd seeds. And now, sure, let's plant some potatoes because that's a relatively new crop for us. And fire glow seems to be a valuable resource that mixes well with a lot of different things. And then after that, I feel like we've been minus carrots and turnips for a while. I feel like, maybe not minus, I feel like we've been working through those and using them in recipes a lot. Okay, so Astrid says, Hey, I don't know why, but it hurts to see him go. I didn't think it would, but here we are. Anyway, it was the right thing to do. Thank you for your help, Stella. Now I need some time. I need to be alone and by myself for a little while, I think. Thank you, Munchkin. Thank you for being here by my side. Okay, that was retrograde. Usually when one of the people says that they want to be off by themselves for a while, that means that they are nearing the conclusion to their journey. But let's go over and let's start by just making sure that everybody has some food. Yeah, let's give you some cherries, since apparently I have a lot of those. We will start by shearing. Douglas says, no, I didn't go in today. Last 3 nights at home when trying to sleep, it gets too hot and I can barely sleep. Having that 3 days in a row really sucks. So I guess the heat stroke wasn't work, but yeah, I've had the same thing at times in my life, Dougler, where it's like, it's so hot at night that you can't get any rest, and when you can't get rest, it increases the impact that the heat has, so it just continues to compound. I hope that there is some relief for you soon. Let's check our mill. Yeah, we gotta put... Well, I want to put some more stuff in. Let's put in... Oh. It's not milling because we're not moving. There we go. Now, I actually don't know where we are. Let's take a quick look on our map. We are at Oxbury, where they sell potato, wheat, and mulberry seeds. I probably bought some mulberry, but I don't actually remember. There's also a couple rare chests and a shrine. Why do I feel like I haven't seen or interacted with a shrine? I'm gonna take the risk of going ashore, maybe for not any good reason. I just want to look around for this shrine. I feel like Summer at one point had introduced the concept that you could, like, sit down and meditate at specific rocks. We're the Dice Boys, don't forget the name. And I sort of thought, like, oh, that's going to be a thing. Like when we see those rocks, I should know to press X and... Oh, right. There's certain things that we cannot do here because I don't have trampoline jumping power. So I'm going to say that we've probably taken a thorough look around here and need to revisit when I have a new movement ability. So instead, let's see. Let's go over to requests. Bruce and Mickey, that's the bull and hummingbird. Build the crusher. Well, let's go somewhere while we're talking about building the crusher. We can go get some more stones. We can go here to the silver dragon. And then what is this over here? Old Central District, where I haven't found some of the question marks. Those are pulsar rays, and these are meteor showers. So, oh, like at first glance they look similar, but these are going from left to right, and these are going from top right to bottom left. So they are distinct. And those are hummingbirds, yeah? Or the fireflies? And then we've got Ambertown Park, which I've also been to. And Edinburgh Lane, which I guess I've been to based on the fact that we've uncovered the area. Is that Edinburgh Lane? Is that the really nice place? I think it was. And then Sunspring Square, which we have not been to at all. Let me just check our... Hold on. And then we've also got a quest. I feel like it often makes sense to check our quest before we go because you just don't know what they're going to ask. Seriously, this guy. Bambina. Hey, Peanut. You must have noticed it by now, but I'm not exactly welcome at Astrid's house anymore. Hey, what can I say? It's not my fault that I'm irresistible. Oh, he really irritates me. I was born this way. The ladies like me. What can I do? Leave them alone? That would be terribly rude of me. Okay. You don't need to give me that look. I get it, you know? I probably would have done the same. Or maybe not exactly the same. But, yeah, I know. Hey, you know what? Her loss. I won't come crawling. I'm above this type of behavior. That being said, the deck is a bit frisky at night, though. And I miss having at least a sofa to rest on. What to do? Think, Giovanni, think. Maybe... Hey, Bambina. Could I ask you a favor? Just a teensy-weensy little thing for your favorite Giovanni. I need a place to rest now. Oh, you know what? A nice lounge would be swell. Yes, a lounge. A funky space at the crossroads between a bar and a den. A place where we could all unwind, have a fun time, you know? And I could even sleep in there. Come on, do it for me, will you? I'll be on the tab for it. Thank you, Bambina. Thank you. Just on about his business. Hello to Doctor and Angel. Sorry. Hello to Doctor and Hickey, who said, hi, Angel. I hope that you're both having a great Wednesday so far. Oh, more quests. I'm not complaining about quests. It's just like there's more to do. And we haven't even started moving yet. Hey, Stella, Munchkin, I feel so foolish, so naive. Why did I think he could change? How could I hope he would have been any different? This lying, cheating scumbag. And you? How could you do this to me? Why did you feel the need to tell me the truth? Don't you think some things are better left untold? That some secrets deserve to stay unspoken? I'm so mad at you. Look, I know you believe you did the right thing, but things are not that simple. It's not always a matter of honesty versus duplicity. I'll take some time alone now. See you later, Stella. So, here's the thing. Oh my goodness. Wow, Marquack, hello to you. I hope you're having a great Wednesday, and thank you very, very much for the cheer. And hello to Patikin, who says, so even saying hello to yourself now. Hey, if you can't greet yourself, I don't know how you expect to have the wherewithal to greet others the way that they deserve it. Patikin, I hope that you're having a great Wednesday. And Marquack, again, thank you very much. And Crow, who says good morning. Wow, there's a lot of people here today. I hope everybody's having a great week so far. I was hoping to head somewhere. So we cannot go to Overbrook because that's beyond the fog barrier. So I'm going to say, let's go here, here, and then we're going to go see if we can visit the Silver... Well, we'll go visit the Silver Dragon. I always press A rather than what I should press. Okay. Now, while we're going, can I build the Crusher? And if not, what else do I need? And I bet the answer is zinc. Let's build... Oh, well, here's the lounge. So we need zinc for the lounge and the air draft. I don't really care about the air draft or the zip line, I don't think. They're probably worth an achievement, though. Cuckoo Clock Tower. You'll always be on time. I mean, I'd probably do that. It's time to go catch some things. Yeah, hold on. Markwak says that it's been all right. Hold on. How did you like it last time? Ready to have some more? What do you say? So we are going to say yes. Markwak is saying it's a bit rumbly-bumbly in the tumbly, but otherwise well. How's your time off going? Have you been able to relax and recharge a bit? Very much, Markwak. Yeah, very, very, very much enjoying the time off, and especially the opportunity to just, like, not think about work, you know? Just be away from it for a while, and... spend some time. We got a chance to have some dinner with friends. Sorry, this is gonna take a second. I went for an awesome walk this morning. That was when it was like, oh boy, it is really, really nice this morning, but based on the humidity, let's see what it's going to be like later on today. And then, yeah, it was like, oh no, it's gonna get kind of rough. We had a huge storm roll through at one point yesterday, to the point where you would have thought that maybe the fireworks wouldn't have happened here on the 4th of July in the United States, but all of the weather cleared up before the sun actually went down, and although it was a bit cloudy, not so much so that it impacted the fireworks at all. Don't ask me why I'm suddenly thinking about fireworks right now. I can't think of anything happening on the screen that might evoke a similar reaction. Hold on. Nope. Okay. Patigan also says that his day is going well, and we have to wrap up the event before we can go water those crops. I believe we've done it. Okay, let's pick our cherries and apples. So, Markwak, when you say rumbly bumbly in the tumbly, is it an upset stomach? Because that would be bad. Well, I mean, like, really uncomfortable, I'm sure. So hopefully it's not severe and it passes quickly. Alternatively, you might just mean that you are hungry. In which case, hopefully you've got some good food on the menu. Yeah, corn is what we've been short on. I'm going to grow 2 plots of corn here, I think. Patigan later on today will be continuing his playthrough of A Plague Tale Requiem, which is the second Plague Tale game. We fed all the sheep earlier. I feel like it's safe to go to sleep. Well, it's safe to go to sleep once we make sure that the windmill is turning. And then hopefully while we are on the path, we'll be able to do some more. So I know the microphone crackles here in Spiritfarer, and that's disappointing because it sort of disincentivizes getting deep into topics just because it's annoying. Fortunately, I won't be going deep into the next topic, which is one of the things, Markwak, that we got to do on the with the vacation time here is yesterday, on the actual holiday when we both had it off, we finally got a chance to finish watching... nope. Hawkeye, the Disney Plus series Hawkeye. And I'm not going to say very much about it here, story-wise or anything like that. I do feel like the project that continues to impress me the most was WandaVision, but that's not a knock against anything else. I just thought that WandaVision was really, really creative with how it was all executed. We had a good time with Hawkeye. Hold on. No, don't. Okay, that's right. I accidentally stopped here rather than going on, which is fine because it was a little bit late getting into the water. Normally when I talk about anything Marvel related, it's hard not to do a little bit about how tiresome I find the everything Marvel, or more generally everything Disney, is the worst thing in the world, and anybody that likes them is some sort of mental incompetent or something, which seems to be the overall path that pop culture, but more specifically what I remember of Twitter, had gone in. Like, oh, if you like this garbage, then you're a garbage person. Like, there was just a lot of that. Let's give Gustav some food. He does like exotics and acquired taste, but I'm 90% sure that I just gave him the shellfish. So, let's give him some paella. Yes, he loves it. And we'll give him a hug, because I think it's been a minute. Hawkeye was a like, when I say that Hawkeye was a very good series, I don't mean like Breaking Bad good. I don't mean like MASH good. I'm saying that it was 6 episodes of a tightly told, well-executed story with great acting, great actors, and some really, really well-executed fight sequences, and does a great job of tying into the larger Marvel universe. And it occurred to me while watching this one, coming up on Hawkeye, after having watched WandaVision and Captain America, no, sorry, what was it called? Winter Soldier and Falcon, and then there was one other one in there. Oh, Loki. Do you want to know what all of these series are doing? Do you want to know why they're television series? They are showing the consequences of other larger events in the Marvel franchise. If you take a look at what each of these series have done, they've done sort of a deep dive into a particular character or relationship and explored how these large, bombastic, huge, multi-million-dollar movie projects and the story events that are happening inside those much larger projects, what kind of impact those have on the other human beings that are involved in the story. It's super smart. And there's ones that I like more than others, and, that's a perfectly normal human thing. But they're not just like, here's more random content. They're fleshing out the cinematic universe that they're building by making sure that the focus stays on the people. This will have, better or like less good results depending on how you feel about the outcome. But I'll say this, all of the Disney series that we've watched so far have been on par with, on par with the best stuff that Netflix ever did, for example. And I like the Netflix series a lot. Mark Wack has said his stomach's been upset for more than 24 hours now, which kind of sucks. However, it hasn't been severe. Even a mild case of upset stomach after 24 hours, that wears thin real quick, Mark Wack. I hope that you are feeling better soon. I'm blessed not to have experienced much of it myself, but I have a relative who has experienced, undergone bouts of vertigo. And it's like even the minor instances of vertigo they're awful. They're awful. I have 0 ink. Zinc. As far as I know. Yep, it's time to say hello to the Silver Dragon. Mark watched Asteroid City on the weekend. That's the Paul. Is it Paul W.S. Anderson? Am I saying the name correct? Is that the movie? I didn't like it very much. Last night I watched Dungeons & Dragons, and Wes Anderson. There we go. Thank you, Mark Quack. And watched Dungeons & Dragons and actually enjoyed it. Yeah, I also had a surprisingly good time with Dungeons & Dragons. And the only reason that I say surprisingly is that, they've had difficulty adapting that property previously. And I agree with you. I thought that this new movie was quite well done. For a lot of the same reasons, you know, it told, you know, I mentioned this in a previous stream, it told a story about people. Just straight into the drink? No. See, I should have had faith that we would get there. Okay. Well, hold on, but no. Okay, I can jump up there. I thought that was a little bit too high. But yeah, every single one of the Disney series, the Marvel series, has been centered on characters that had some sort of a major event happen to them as a result of one of the Marvel movies. And there's been an examination of how did that affect them? And how did it affect the world, by the way? Not just them as people, but what are the lingering after effects? And that's something that I thought people said they really wanted to see from these big blockbusters. Like, what happens next? What happens to those characters after that? What's the emotional impact? I swear to God, you guys, it's just a quarter second too long. One more time. We can do it. Okay, I think we'll get our thank you from the dragon. Patina is saying just by looking at the trailer of Asteroid City is something that I probably wouldn't like either. I have not seen a trailer for it. I would be curious to check it out. But when somebody like Marquardt comes along and says, well, I just watched it and I really didn't care for it, that does carry some weight. Before we go, let me just double check that I do not have zinc. Silver, pulsar, aluminum, and iron. Yeah, no zinc yet. It probably means that we just haven't visited the right places, so that's one of the reasons that I want to stay on the path. We have been to Ambertown Park. We have been to Edinburgh Lane. We've not been through here, so just, if only to unshroud the map, let's go there, and then we'll go to Sun Spring Square, and we'll see what's up. Crow thoroughly enjoyed D&D. Perhaps because they focus on the story and the characters rather than the rules and the construction of the game. Yes. Yes. Just, there are folks out there that feel particularly strongly about the fact that the characters in the Dungeons & Dragons movie do not adhere strictly to the rules of the game, to the rules as written in the Dungeons & Dragons core rulebooks or any of the unearthed arcana. I have no idea what these people are going into a movie theater with the expectation of seeing. I don't understand. Dungeons & Dragons was a smart, well-told movie about human beings dealing with human being problems. And I don't want to go too much into it, but it used some familiar plot structures in order to tell what was to me a very highly enjoyable story set in this fantasy universe. And for people who do know some D&D like myself, I thought it was lovely. I thought it was great to see some of these characters and powers on the big screen. Hey, a comet shower. What's this I hear about a kitchen on a board? What's that? Why, how do we have a conversation with you? I'll give you an apple. Oh, wait, he doesn't like simple shit. Then get out of here. How'd you like it last time? Yes. Mostly, I just want to make sure that we don't lose the capacity to do this, comet shower. Marquardt says his only quibble with D&D, was that it felt the ending was a bit predictable with regards to one of the items in it. I wasn't sure what the payoff to it all was. When we got there, I wasn't terribly surprised, but it still, it resonated with me. Let's say that. I'm gonna be very careful about, getting into stuff like that, because myself, Marquardt, Jody K, Samalander, Harmonious Crow, we all know it, and then there's gonna be people who, I think Solid Chrome Hickey said that he'd seen the movie, but like people who come in to see Spiritfarer, they may not be happy to even have a vague implication. But oh, stop. It's also something that you really want to be able to talk about, right? I feel like we're getting more asteroids this time, or whatever these are, stellar debris. We also had 2,800 glims, which by the like, we're saving up for something, like our next boat upgrade. It's not just money for money's sake. Asteroid City is, says Mark Wack, I feel, a movie for people who love the craft of movies will really appreciate it. The movie is shot perfectly. The set design is immaculate, but I found it cold and distant and didn't connect with any of the characters. There will be movies like that that I will enjoy because of... because like I'll be like, wow, I can't believe how well this was shot. Like I can't think of any like immediately off the top of my head, but I am much less likely to enjoy a movie that is that feels cold and distant. Like that's a good way to put it. I still think about that movie Alita Battle Angel, which I could not possibly have ever predicted that I would have enjoyed based on the trailer that I saw, and I actually really liked it. I don't have any back knowledge of the character, the franchise, what wherever it was that it came from, probably an anime, but I really like that movie. Hey, if I told you about the time that I was up on the coast right before the end of the war, me and the other boys, we were waiting on an evacuation convoy after a long night of skirmishes. We had been slowly but steadily going through the occupied villages of the lower mountains as the enemy retreated. I had joined a more regular corps since most of the resistance fighters could now be out in the open. So there we were, 20-something boys, aged 17 to 25, all of us tired but happy at the same time. We were winning, you know? We decided to stop for the night in a little village that overlooked the coast. At night, one of the mamas comes to us with a gigantic cauldron full of pasta and tomato sauce. Most of us hadn't seen a tomato sauce in years. At the same time, we hear Marius, our youngest combatant, rushing in towards us yelling, "Leave me some, guys, it smells so good." He had been on scouting duty that night to check if there was anything fishy going on. And as he runs towards us, maybe 40 meters from where we were, we hear a very loud explosion and see a big puff of smoke. A landmine. This is a weird story to tell with his particular expression on his face right now. They were not that frequent, but happened nonetheless. Most of us ran towards him, but I was the first there. I'll spare you the details, but it was obvious he wouldn't make it. Also, it's like, okay, so Giovanni has like a particular speech pattern where he's like really like into himself, and it's not really serving this particular story. As I hold him in my arms, covered in blood, he weakly opens his mouth and tells me, "Damn, Giovanni, I can't believe I won't eat this. No one gets my share, okay?" And those were his last words. That moment will forever be imprinted in my memory. It will always remind me that life has to be lived for the simplest of things. A nice dish, a beautiful landscape, a gorgeous lady. Yep, that's what life is lived for. And yet, it shouldn't be spent mistreating people, which is what Giovanni does. Oh, was it... What, did I say Alita? I'm concerned that I said the wrong name. Hopefully I said Alita Battle Angel. Because Crow also liked it. Yeah, no, I know he wants a crusher. I want to give him some food because I couldn't. So he wants something that's not too fancy but has at least 2 items in it. Does green salad have 2 items in it? I guess it does. Okay. But Dean also liked it, I think. Yeah, Children of Men is an example of a movie where not only did I really enjoy, like, the story and the movie, like, itself, but just, I remember watching that movie and just being like, this movie is astoundingly well crafted. Like, from a cinematic perspective. I thought it was so well done. Okay, I guess I gave him an apple last time. How about some black coffee? Yeah, he likes stimulants. How's your mood, by the way? Hugged. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty happy. Okay, it is nighttime. I don't see a lot of benefit to going ashore at night. Yeah, Crow also liked Alita and also had no knowledge of it. If I didn't say that earlier. It just... If you watch a trailer for it, the art style, shall we say, looks so off-putting. And then when you're watching the movie, that sort of... It falls away very quickly. And you're just watching these characters, and it's like a super fun movie. Let's give you some sugar cane, because I don't have any other particular purpose for that. Now, before I go to sleep, let's check our mail and then see. I keep trying to look to build stuff. A letter from Feedorama. Dear Feedorama customer, here at Feedorama, we strive to reach new heights in food preparation. That's why we've renewed your subscription to our delivery service. We will be sending you pre-made meals every week. The joy of food lives on. We wish you the best and hope you will enjoy our new marketing strategy. Alan Shipley, CEO of Feedorama. I honestly thought like we had reached the end of that particular sequence of letters. Yes, it is too dark to navigate. So we can't do anything on the build screen right now, absent some available zinc. Like this we could do, but I don't care about it very much. The cuckoo clock. So we would need some maple planks. Is the cuckoo clock... That's not where, no, the lounge is where What's-His-Face is going to live. And then we've gotten all of these. So, maple planks. We need about 13 of those. And then the crusher still requires zinc. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Oh, I could do the chicken coop. Why not? I'm gonna put the chicken coop. I consider it industry, so we're gonna have it down here on the ground floor. I mean, hold on. Can I put it there? Sorry, because I like the way that it looks. Oh, but then it doesn't. Yeah. Okay. So we'll just leave it right here then. I don't have any chickens, but now when we do, we'll be ready to go. And then the lounge was the other thing that I wanted to build. And that takes the zinc. Okay. So I feel like we've built what we can. We should look at improvements, but those are less critical because nobody's currently demanding anything. Yeah, I remember like Siskel and Ebert talking about how much they were looking, maybe it was just Ebert now, I'm trying to remember, but how much they were looking forward to the movie Hancock because it appeared to show the consequences of somebody with superpowers just like out there and living in the world and maybe not necessarily being extremely careful with how that power was exercised and who they had to answer to. And, like, if that's what... Hi. There we go. If that's one of the things that you want, then I gotta say, like, these Marvel series are exactly that. They're telling new stories, but all of those new stories are based heavily in events that you might have been familiar with from other shows, and not one of them have I watched and been like, oh, well, this really should have been a movie. Like, this is just a low-cost way to get some more content out of there. Every single one of them has been like, man, this is like really well put together. Crow is so tired. All I want to do is sleep. I don't want to work. Crow, I've definitely... I was dragging when I woke up this morning, but the good news is I didn't have to work today. If you're at work now, which it sounds like you might be, I just hope that the day passes smoothly and we can provide a little bit of like, company and comfort as you're going. I've been out here, grinding and busting for the dice game. Respect the dice boys. Oh, sorry. I was singing along to this song. It's pretty good. Yeah, Children of Men, that was a hell of a movie. I only knew, like, the vaguest of premise, like, the premise when I watched it, and had a great time with it. Friend? Do you know my friend Marianne's address? Well, thanks anyway. Hi. So I think the next Disney series that would probably be on the docket if watched in order is Moon Knight. And I remember that Azric and Mia were extremely interested in what I would think of that one. So we'll probably start that one up pretty soon. There's this really cute boy that walks by every morning. I just like to sit here and wait for him. I don't have anything better to do. It just gives me something to do. There is a door there that we might be able to exit, but I like to press X on all of these like empty spaces we can't see. Moon Knight is awesome, says Crow, and very different. So, like, that could be an example of a show that bucks the trend that I just, was talking about. Because, I'm not looking for clarification on this yet, but, like, all the Marvel series that I've seen so far have been not necessarily introducing, like, characters just fabricated out of like, the ether, but rather... Hey, remember that thing that happened in that movie? Well, that had consequences for these characters, and then telling a story that's organically spun off from that. I have no idea what the premise of Moon Knight is, other than, like, Moon Knight's kind of an out-there sort of character. I'm very interested to see this one. I keep seeing this girl in the window looking at me. Maybe I know her or something. It's a bit odd. Welcome to the park. My name is David, and I'm one of the many rangers in charge of our region's parks. I just wanted to let you know that these trees are sick. They have a rare disease. We need to cut them down. I got a crew coming later. I just wanted to warn you to be safe in the park, to respect the park, to serve your community. Have a park-filled day. I can help you cut these down, especially if they're made of ash. Crow is saying the Marvel show trend, Phase 5 is shitty, but the shows from Phase 4 are good. Sadly, it becomes a little bit churn and send for the rest. I will... So far, there has not been a show that I haven't enjoyed. But... it'll be interesting to see how that develops. Because I was really in on the Netflix shows until Iron Fist. Iron Fist? I think that's the name of it. And then once that was on, it was like, oh, God. Like, I just didn't want to... It was hard to watch anything after that, because that one just completely drained any interest or goodwill that I had in the project. And I did eventually, like, go forward from that, but that was that first season of Iron Fist, that was a real chore. Okay, some more blueberries, and some more ash trees to cut down. Crow like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. Yes, Jessica Jones was my personal favorite. And I haven't seen all of them, but of the set, that first season of Jessica Jones was the favorite of the ones that I've seen. I'm just double checking all the trees. I thought Jessica Jones was awesome, and I thought that everybody was awesome in it. I have to say, I was not previously familiar with David Tennant, who plays a major role in Jessica Jones Season 1. And I looked him up afterwards, because, like, who the hell is this guy? Where did this dude come from? I told my boyfriend to move out. That was 2 weeks ago, and he's still here. I need to put my foot down. It turned out that David Tennant was Doctor Who for a while. And I think one of the Doctor Who's that people really liked. I don't know anything about Doctor Who. The people who like Doctor Who really like Doctor Who. Okay, yeah. So I think that we're supposed to use that trampoline to get up to the top thing, and I can't, so we're not going to worry too much about just banging our heads against that. Crow also liked Daredevil. Prior to Jessica Jones, like coming in a near second, I thought that season 1 of Daredevil was extremely good, and I was honestly really surprised at how much I liked Punisher. At least the first season of Punisher. I honestly do not remember if I saw a second season, and there may not even be a second season of Punisher. That might be something that I made up in my head. They're changing everything in the new Daredevil, says Crow. No idea why. That is not surprising to me based on... So, I've always heard it pronounced like Kevin Feige, but then I started hearing people call it Feige. I will say that man's name however it is supposed to be said. I think that he is... I think that guy, so that we're talking about the franchise runner of the Disney Marvel movies. He has executed on something that I spent my entire youth being promised by various superhero movies. These little like references or hints that there would be a larger universe at bay, that you would, oh, they made this reference to Superman, like this oblique reference to Superman in this Batman movie, so maybe we'll get like a Batman-Superman crossover. And it would never happen. And now, Kevin Feige, I don't know how to say his name correctly, he's actually executed on that. And he has executed on that by exercising an extremely high degree of creative control over the project to make sure that everything progresses and hits the notes that it needs to in order to service the larger story. There are some people that do not like that. I'm not among them. I have seen numerous franchises. Now, hold on. Do I already have the... Is this the cuckoo clock or is this a different clock? Because I feel like this is where... This is not Gustav's gallery. We're going to have to double check because I might already have the, what's it called? Rather than building another one. Really, you're hungry again? I mean, I can. Oh, we literally just gave that to him. Let's give him an acquired taste. Okay, he's happy. Patikin's gonna go eat. I'm going to marvel at some food. Patikin, I hope you have a great, I assume, lunch, and then we will see you when you go live. So Feige, am I saying that correctly now, Crow? Feige? I could be convinced differently about his level of creative control if I did not enjoy the large majority of Marvel movies more than I don't enjoy them. On a number of them, there's, things that I'm like, well, this could have been done better, or this wasn't as good as the ones that surround it. Doctor Strange in the Marvel-verse of Madness, Multiverse of Madness. That one was, It was really interesting from its implications for the larger world, but it was interesting going into that one immediately after seeing, like a couple days after seeing Spider-Man No Way Home, because I felt like I was seeing two very, very different interpretations of Doctor Strange as a character, both acted by Benedict Cumberbatch. Like, it just felt like a little bit tonally incompatible seeing those two movies in such rapid succession. Hello to Jab! Jab, we were just having a quick chat about the fact that we just finished watching... I'm gonna go here. Hawkeye, the Hawkeye series, and had a good time with it. Harmonious Crow loves the, was referencing, summing up what I was saying by the interconnectedness. She loved that idea, and now they're moving beyond that. I have heard that they are, even within the company, there was some concern about the speed at which they were moving out new projects, so they're going to slow that rate, which again I might feel was better news if I hadn't been enjoying the content that they've been putting out. down. Nope. Is it? It's down in A, right? There it is. Crow was saying, like, superhero burnout. Yeah, and that's... Hold on, Uncle Atchel has a surprise. Does he? Oh, so we went out and got the berries. Okay. Thank you, Uncle. In exchange, allow me to give you a... So he's happy with anything, but if I have some pork chops, I'd probably give those to him. Let's give him... I don't want to give him my surf and turf. I need that for somebody. I don't remember who right now. Okay, yeah, he'll have that. And I think we just hugged him, yeah. Oh, I didn't even look at the chicken coop. Wait, what do we do here? Oh, this must be feed for the chickens. If we had any chickens. Do I have... Yeah, sunflower seeds. I've got lots of those. Okay, I've filled that up with sunflower seeds. Yes. Look at it. Just look at it, Bambina. It's so adorable. We had chicks like this in my parents' farm, you know. I would give them all a name. Ha, but after a day or two, I'd forget all of them. So I just called this one Dennis. Oh, there is a chicken in here. Hi, Dennis. Be the best little rapscallion you can be. Yes? Okay, so I can put an egg into the incubator. Oh, okay. So I think that if we put feed into the feed bin here and eggs into the incubator, then we can get chickens that will then make us more eggs. Jav is saying, I think Disney has taken 2 licenses to print money and ran both of them into the ground. I cannot speak to the profitability of Star Wars. I do feel like the Marvel movies are still turning a good profit for them. But then again, I haven't really been... Like, the profitability or lack thereof for multinational corporations is rarely of interest. I guess it can be interesting if there's a movie that you're particularly looking forward to or particularly not looking forward to. Hold on, we need to put something else on there. To sort of see where that falls on the... like, the success scale. Like, that can be interesting, but aside from that, like... can we not go to bed? It's still too early? I feel like it's still too early. Well, if it's too early, then we can set a course for our next location. We have not yet been to Sun... No, we were just here. We just went there. And then that's Edgeboro Lane. What's interesting is that I have not seen any evidence of... Oh, let's go visit Arena. I should also... So, let's take a quick look at this. Build the crusher, I need zinc. Improve his house by adding a picture frame. Can I do that? Let's go to improve. And then his house is up here. Comet powder. So for that, I'm pretty sure that I need the crusher. So we're going to wait on that. Fried chicken. I think we need the crusher to make some oil, some fat, in order to get that. I could be wrong. Build the lounge. I need zinc, I believe. Bring a surf and turf to the worker. And that's in Oxbury. Okay, so depending on what we find here, I think now it might be time for sleep. Hello to Lord Impa. Neat game. Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Doing very well today. Have a day off from work, and I hope that you're enjoying your Wednesday as well. Crow says that she kind of agrees with Jab. Watched everything, and some are enjoyable, and I watch them and try not to compare them to others from the various franchises. But there's no joy in some of them. I'm not sure how to explain it. I think that's a good way to explain it, like to describe it. It's if you feel, I've sometimes described a movie as feeling like it was contractually obligated, where everybody involved showed up, a movie or television show, everybody showed up because there was a piece of paper that had been signed that said that they needed to. And aside from that, they were terribly uninterested in what it was that they were doing. I can't, again, think of any specific examples where I've said that, but I've described movies like that on stream from time to time, like, oh boy, this was just a bunch of people going through the motions. So, yeah, the idea of something just feeling joyless, like the people's hearts just weren't in it, I can certainly understand that as being a reaction. Mark Wack is giving the example of Bill Murray in several of his performances. Yeah, I can think of a couple off the top of my head. That's a really good example. You know, people were willing to pay Bill Murray so much money that it would be irresponsible to say no, but he doesn't want to do it, so he shows up and he goes through the motions. He does the things that he says the things that people want to hear him say, and he does the things that people want to see him do, and then at the very second that somebody says cut, he's like, all right, thanks, and he just goes, because he doesn't have any interest in doing this. Mark Rock was also saying the Hobbit movies. Here's the full extent of the experience that I had with the Hobbit movies. This is an absolutely true story. We were at one of our relatives, and I had no idea what people were watching. Like, I was in the other room hanging out with, like, I think it was specifically my producer's father. And I left and I walked through the room. And as I walked through the room, my eye, I caught, like, what was on the television caught my eye, and people were watching this. And I was looking at it being like, I swear to God, this is a true story. I looked at it and I was like, this looks like Lord of the Rings, but super cheap. Like, I really couldn't put my finger, and I watched, I like, it actually, like, stopped me dead in my tracks, and I was looking at it, I was like, what is this? Because it simultaneously looked like it had a very high budget, but also looked like it was shot like a soap opera or something. It was very, to this moment, I can't tell you exactly what it was, but it was this very odd combination of looking like the quality of the props and the sets and the costuming was all there, and yet it just had this really chintzy feel to it. And I then discovered that I was looking at one of the Hobbit movies. I don't know which one, but I was like, that is an absolute true story of my one and only exposure to the Hobbit movies. It's not intended as a slam because I haven't actually watched them. I'm just saying that, like, literally seeing it on screen, I was like, oh, this looks bad. Like, I mean, the visual presentation of it seems really poorly executed. There was some sort of a fight happening. I could not tell you who was fighting about what. I want to say, like, if you were familiar with the movies, I want to say that somebody, like, threw down a shield and was, like, surfing on the shield. But if you're thinking, oh, that sounds like Legolas, something that Legolas does, no. Like, that was the thing. It was like, this looks like somebody did a very high budget but completely soulless knockoff of the Lord of the Rings movies. Jab describes it as they're making content. Yeah, I've actually heard that phrase as as it relates, like, sorry, I've heard that used as, like, quote unquote content creators, like making content. They're just on the production churn, just like gotta get the next thing out. These are our first ever peaches, by the way. We now have a mature peach tree. All right, I believe we can go ashore now. I mean, we could have gone ashore before, but... Oh, no we can't. Where am I? We were going to visit the turtle, but the turtle does not appear to be here right now. Maybe she doesn't like it when it's raining. Let's go to Flotsam Shores. Marquack is saying that I should watch the first 2 Hobbit movies so you can listen to the unexpected Juropsis and the desolation of Small-opsis, 2 high-quality opsises. That is a very high incentive, Marquack, I will tell you what. For anybody that doesn't know, that is a reference to the Quarter to 3 Movies podcast, where Kelly Wand would provide a detailed summary of everything that happened in the movie in a very particular and entertaining style. So, snack and healthy. Okay. Yeah, she likes noodle soup more than anything. Look, Stella, you won't hear me say this often, but you did something marvelous here. Simply incredible. I'm so proud of you. I've been wondering if there's anything left for me to teach you. This noodle soup is simply my favorite dish. Congratulations. Don't be mad at me, Munchkin, but I did some fishing while you weren't looking. Here's some cuttlefish, mahi-mahi, and an octopus. I kept them in my back pocket. Crow says, then you get older character series where the main actor or even the side runners put everything into their roles and you can feel it and see it. That's certainly how I feel about, like, we were talking the other day about, like, series to get to know me, and high on my list were, like, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, which I just... Now, hold on, I put a... Oh, we do have 2 chicks now. Okay, I want to have another chick. X, Y. Let me just double check that we've got enough feed, which apparently we do. I don't know if there's anything that should be done on the bottom level here. Because when we go inside, the bottom level fades out, so you can't jump down. Unless... No. Okay, now let's go ashore. Oh. He's just going to tell me to build a crusher, though. Or just ignore the fact that he called out to me. But what suddenly brought that to mind from what Crow had said was... I feel like everybody involved in... Like, Better Call Saul had all the makings of being a super cheap cash-in off of the popularity of Breaking Bad. And instead, it is... I haven't seen the whole thing of it yet, but... It's great. It's a fantastic show. And to go along with what Crow was just saying, Bob Odenkirk and the rest of the cast, like Rhea, I don't remember the name of the actor who plays Kim. It's Rhea somebody. Like, in my head, it's Spellman, and that's not right. Whatever her name is. Like, and Michael McKean. Are you serious? I got up there before. Well, did I jump from here? No, that's not high enough. I got up here before on my very first try. There we go. And I don't know the name of every person in the series, but it's great. There's some awesome performances in it. And I feel like everybody at every phase was working really hard and, like, thinking and putting all of their creativity in on it. And then you see some things that it's like, I like season 6 of Supernatural is one that I use commonly as being like, the show really bottomed out for me in season 6. Like, it got much better after that. That, from what I've seen of Supernatural, that was their absolute low point, was season 6. And it was because there was a changing of the guard, and the new guard didn't yet have a good sense on how to execute. And they learned. They got better from there. I'm not saying this to condemn them. I'm saying, like, hey, it took a little bit of extra time. When a show suddenly, like, bottoms out like that, you really feel it. Anyway, I made this whole place. It started with a dream. A city of containers in the air, floating amongst the clouds. Then I woke up and thought to myself, that's the most ridiculous thing ever, Marty. If it's just a city of containers in the sea, it makes more sense, so I built it. It took a few years. Here we are. Oh, please be zinc. It doesn't look like it's zinc. I don't know what zinc is supposed to look like, but this looks like iron to me. Limestone. Okay. But, like, in terms of, like, Marvel movies that absolutely did not feel to me like they were just going through the motions. What was it called? The one with Simu Liu. It was, Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. I didn't know what to expect of that, because again, not a character, not a franchise that I'm familiar with. That movie looked great. Like visually speaking, it was a delight. I really liked the storyline. I thought everybody's performances were really well executed. Simu Liu as Shang-Chi, it's tough to introduce audiences to a character who's like they've never heard of before, and also like the storyline itself feels very integrated with a mythology that might also be unfamiliar to a lot of viewers. But I thought that he really nailed it, and he brought a lot of charisma and likability to a character that, like, I think that we've seen that archetype played poorly before, and I thought that he really nailed it. Hold on, we're playing hacky sack with the with the Everlight. Okay. This place gives me the creeps. It smells like wet rags and damp towels and fish. Mostly fish. I don't like it, but I've nowhere to go, so I just complain a lot. Have a good one. I'm busy. I'm trying to find a gift for my brother. Something on a budget. He's not worth a full price gift. He never gets me anything anyways. I'll figure it out. I seem to think about it. I'll tell you this. Oh, see, we don't have jump on things technology. Can I check very quickly? I have one obol, and I'm 90% sure that I need to have 2 in order to get jump on things. By comparison, like, what was it? Ant-Man 2. I don't remember what that one was called. That one felt to me like everybody was just sort of like showing up to get paid at the end. It may not have been that, but that one felt a lot more like, okay, everybody, well, we've got this many days to shoot, so let's all make the best of it. I'm glad you said something. It would have been odd for you to just pass by. Well, that's it. Have a good one. Markwack has to get some work done, lurking for a bit. Markwack, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you again for the cheer, but mostly I hope you have a great day. Yeah, that's background stuff. And there is something all the way up there, but I bet that, here's what I think that is. I think that if we go in there and we're able to jump on the thing, that we can come out that door. There are mysteries yet to be resolved in underwater floating container city. Crow was saying, I think of the Hobbit game, or Hobbit movies, like a high-budget TV show. Yes, and also, like, that's, like, actually, Crow, I think that you did nail it, because it's like, it felt a bit like... Oh, we are not getting... Look, the fins aren't even moving. Yeah, well, we're gonna be on our way out of here. It felt like people were watching like a made-for-TV movie. That's what it felt like. The Hobbit has high aspirations, but it is not delivering on them. So, I'm gonna pass through crates just in case we turn up some zinc. And then we are gonna go say hello to Arena. Hopefully we will make it there on time. I wanted some, I think it was maple logs at one point. We may not actually need them. I want to read what Jab said, but now I can't take my eyes off of the logs. Hold on, let's... No, you can't pause it. I was going to pause it so I could read it and then consider it while we were cutting logs, but... should have done it before starting. Hold on. I will say this, and I mentioned at the time, at the very beginning of 10 Rings, there was some effects work that didn't feel like it was integrated very well. It was like early in the movie, and then from there it just got better and better and better as it went. Oh, god darn it. Yeah, no, yell at me some more, asshole bird. Food, and then we want to go to... Have an apple pie. And then a hug. Jab was saying that he did not think there was enough story for a trilogy. The Hobbit was a short novel. And I remember, so I had The Hobbit read to me when I was very young. A bucket of fried chicken. Yeah, well, we need some fat before we can do that. What is it that you want? It's going to take him a minute to turn around. He gets his ear tugged. That was it. Don't forget to build a crusher. But Jad was saying, whereas the Lord of the Rings books were 3 large books. Sorry, what I was going to say is that I did not think that The Hobbit was a particularly good book. I read it as an adult, and it's like weird and kind of jokey, and like not a lot happens for a really long time. It's probably cool as like an additional... It felt like maybe aimed at a little bit of a younger audience, and that's fine. You know, that's... You know, younger kids are allowed to have their version of the Lord of the Rings. But yeah, The Hobbit didn't really land with me as a book, so it didn't have the same appeal to like go see it as a movie. Well, you look beaten up, my dear. Did you see one of my sisters out there? They think they're so mature. We'll show them. I'm sure they gave you quite the hard time. Well, I'm Arena, and you don't need to worry, I don't bite. You can do your investing in peace with me. Just go and hop on my back. You can leave minerals or logs. I know a friend when I see one. I'll take good care of you. Give him some silver, since so far we have to... let's do 3 silvers, because it's like the one thing that I don't have enough of. Yeah, I've even got more ash than I've got of the other stuff. Stella... Are you all done? See you later. Yeah, Crow is saying The Hobbit was for Tolkien's... Is it Tolkien? I feel like I've heard people say it that way. For his kids. Perfectly fair. You know, I remember reading Coraline and being like, oh, this is not intended for my age group. There is an age at which I would have read this and thought it was wonderful. That was several years ago. That doesn't make the book bad. It just means that it's not intended for me, and not everything needs to be intended. I remember seeing, what was it called? The Rocky and Bullwinkle movie. The one that had, like, Jason Alexander as, Boris, what's-his-face? Again, aimed at a younger crew. I'm not going to complain that the movie wasn't specifically for me when it was never meant to be. Tolkien, says, Crow. Also, this was the part that Jabbit said. Jabbit said probably worse for Supernatural in that there was a 5-year plan completed, and the reason for the show. So it was completed, there was nothing left in the tank. I also saw an interesting interview with Jensen Ackles. I guess there was a brief, but regrettably public, interaction between himself and Jared Padalecki over the announcement and the timing of that announcement for the Supernatural prequel series. In that... Oh, look, zinc ore. It straight up says that we can get it here. Have I been here? No, we mustn't have been here. So what had happened is that this was another one of those Michael Rosenbaum clips. apparently Jensen Ackles does not talk about things in progress. And, like, by the way, neither do I. Usually, you know, I'll talk about something when it's done or nearly done, just because I want to be very careful about insinuating that things are happening when I can't guarantee that they'll be finished. With this, apparently, what had happened is they were working on this Supernatural prequel series, and I think it was Deadspin got wind of it and was going to run a story about it. So they were contacting Jensen Ackles and saying, like, okay, you need to, you know, you should get ahead of this and put something out. And so he did, and as a result, it went out on Twitter while he was, like, at work. I think he was filming The Boys at the time and didn't have access to his phone. So he just, like, tapped something out really quick to, like, say, like, yep, it's happening and we're doing this. And as a result, he did not have an opportunity to communicate with his co-star and very, very good friend, Jared Padalecki, about the production of the series. I want to check their food. You're filled. You're full. And you're full. Okay. Gustav is talking. I'm sure you could find something nutritious for me. I'd even take some noodle soup, even though somebody else really likes that. Well, he likes exotic food. Let's give him this. Another facet of my existence. I'm really quite delighted by it. Are you huggable? He is. You know, would I like Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland if I read it for the very first time as an adult? I don't know. I didn't read it for the first time as an adult. I do have a lot of appreciation for it and its use of magic, and it's like, it feels like walking through a dream, which is what it's supposed to be. Things don't necessarily connect very sensibly, and like Alice is navigating a world that makes sense to everyone else, and to her it's complete nonsense, but she just sort of like goes along with it because she's young, and she's like, well, all of these people must know what they're talking about, when I feel like it's actually heavily implied that they're all just making it up as they're going along. This reminds me of what it's like to grow up, to have that realization partway along the way that your parents and adults in general don't necessarily have everything figured out. They may mean well, they may not, but they're not founts of perfect experience and infallible decision-making. They're doing their best just like you are. They have more experience to draw from, but they're not necessarily perfect. And that's what Alice is sort of like. That's one of the running undercurrents, I feel like, in both Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. He is very hungry. We will give him something. We just gave him some coffee last time. Cup of tea? Okay. Good enough. He's full. Give him a hug, too. I thought that the first Harry Potter book, which, again, read for the very first time as an adult, I thought that Harry Potter book was really well written, and I liked it at the time. I didn't feel like the Harry Potter books got better as they went, unfortunately. I thought that they generally became more bloated. So this is the shipping container city. And what's disappointing is that we know now that it has some zinc ore, and I can't get to it. At least not that we could see. We got this area that we can go into. I just gotta double check it quickly. Can't go right from here. Nope. No. Yeah, if there's zinc ore in here, I feel like it's on the other side of this. Yeah, I cannot jump on the trampoline. I think we need one more oval. which usually means, I mean, you get obols from completing requests as far as I know, so I think that our time is now best spent doing a request, whatever it might be. Okay, let's... Well, hold on. Before we do this. Build the crusher. We can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. Bring surf and turf to the worker in Oxbury. Let's do that. Our ores are ready. And then... Wait, why is it exclamation pointing me? I can't go to Overbrook. Oxbury. Oxbury's far enough away that, yeah, you know what? I think we're going to instead... Hold on. Let's just bus stop it. And get up there as fast as we can. Let's check our chicks. Because they seem to hatch pretty quickly when put into the incubator. Oh, and we've got adult chicks as well. They are not yet ready for me to interact with them. Bothersome, the lounge, I need a place to stay. Yeah, no, I haven't forgotten about it. Oh, I was going to check to see, there was something that we had gotten the logs to build. Windmill, crusher, chicken coop, field, loom, foundry, orchard, kitchen. No, it's not on this tab. The Cuckoo Clock Tower. No, that is the one that we have. Look, because, yeah, so we did build this. You'll always be on time. Yeah, we definitely have that. It's right next to the windmill. And then we built that and that and that. I wonder why the Cuckoo Clock Tower is not... What's it called? What is it called? Oh, unique. Because everything else on that tab looks like it is. Okay, there's our wool. Nope. And now we're going to fast travel up to Oxbury. As you can probably tell, I'm not making any attempt to speedrun this game, but sometimes I'm looking at it like, I know what I need. I know that I can find it in this area. I also know that I don't currently have access to it because it's sort of like blocked off. So assuming that I'm not wrong about any of those things, what am I missing? And I think at this point the answer is an obol. So if we progress one of our objectives, I think we can do it. Yeah, I feel like we've got a minute here. I'm gonna go fish. Fish or cook, or maybe both. What would I cook? Let's check our recipes. Well, hold on. If I could just do some pork chops. Crud. What kind of pork chops is it that he likes? Because I've got the pork chops, but I feel like he doesn't want them grilled. Wasn't there a particular way that he needed it? Or maybe that was the chicken, because I grilled the chicken. Wait, berry and yogurt. I don't have any dairy to make yogurt with. Oh, pork chops are just pork. All right. I guess in retrospect that makes a lot of sense. Let's make at least a couple of those for Uncle Atoll, because they're his favorite, and I don't feed him that very often. I hope if they do more Dungeons & Dragons movies, they're able to resist what sometimes feels like the completely irresistible call of doing, like, the Dragonlance characters, like Drizzt Do'Urden. Just... I don't get it. Drizzt Do'Urden and his compatriots feel to me like if somebody today was to say, no, I don't like all those newfangled superhero movies. The best and only version of like superheroes was defined by Liam Neeson when he played Darkman. Like, I liked Darkman when that movie came out. I'm not 100% sure that I'd consider it a superhero movie. I know that there are people that do that, like an origin story movie. But it's like you can like that thing and also like other stuff. And boy, when it comes to like Drizzt, it's just like there's so many better characters, man. There's so many better like fantasy films and like things to build from. I do not want to buy that. So we're looking for who do I give the surf and turf to, and I completely do not remember. I will buy some more pork chops and some more eggs, even though I probably now have a replenishing supply of eggs. Listen, I don't know about you, Munchkin, but this place is a trash hole. If she wants that worthless riffraff, she can have him. I won't shed a tear for him. I got better things to do. I won't have him back either. You'll be stuck with his problems, not me. It's all fun and games right now. You'll be crying your little eyes out soon enough. Harlot. Apartment, met a woman in the bar, got dressed up and put on aftershave, took a taxi back to her place. We kissed right there outside. There were pictures of her husband and her kids on the wall. I don't know if we'll see each other again. She asked for my numbers. I don't even know her name. What's wrong with being the other man? What's wrong with second place? I think I need a minute here. Everything. That sounds like a horrible situation all the way around. On my way to a happier day. Shh, I'm waiting for a signal. Buck should be ready soon. I can feel it. So this is the shrine that we need to light up, and I'm relatively sure, yeah, we have one of 2 obols, and then we will have bounce technology. Oh yeah, Spawn. Yeah. Crow. Like, that's a really good example. Somebody who just like got Crow, that was a perfect example, because Spawn is like so edgy and dark, and like that movie is such garbage. For somebody to say like, oh man, Spawn is the character, like screw this whole like Marvel universe, it should have been Spawn all day. It's like, yo, if you are out there and you like the movie Spawn, that's fine, but to say that it should have been the way that the industry should have gone as opposed to like Iron Man, it's just coming at it from a very different perspective that I have. By the way, Markwack said something really interesting there. It sounds like there was not a third... Like, there were 3 Hobbit movies. Maybe there wasn't an opsis for the third one. That might have happened after the show got sort of put on long-term hiatus. Marjorie, the plumber's here. Hey, wait a second. You don't have a mustache. You're not the plumber. Out. Nope. So I probably need to talk to everybody in the world again. Although, nope, I got it. Also, I gotta revisit Civilization 5 at some point, because I just continue to see people stake claim to the idea that it is still like the best civilization, like it's the one that got it right. And I don't know, man, I think Civ 6 is so good. I feel like that's a weirdly hot take, but Civ 6 is just a really, really good game. Have I found him yet? He was probably wasting his time daydreaming in the park. Oh, I didn't go to a park. Is that the person? Talk to Beverly and Oxbury. Well, that's who we're looking for, I think. Okay, so this person seems to want me to go to the park, and there's one major park in the area that I have not been back to. Or if I had been there, I probably didn't talk to everybody because I didn't realize... Can't talk right now. Oh, wow, I'm talking. I'm so spaced out. Leave me alone, please. Yeah, we can't. Can't get there from here. Lord Imp is saying of Spawn, he's in the middle, you could say, a neutral guy. I feel like there's a small number of topics on which Spawn is neutral. He seems to be a person of extreme convictions, most of which are based around violence. John Leguizamo is an interesting person because he plays in the Spawn movie. He plays big clown guy. What was his name? He's a really interesting guy that, like, every interview that I've ever seen with John Leguizamo, he's like doing a series lately on MSNBC about being like Latin in America. I might have the title of it wrong, but he strikes me like most comedians as being a very smart, thoughtful, well-spoken person who I have yet to see him in a role where I was like, oh man, John Leguizamo really nailed that. And I feel like it's more a lack of, that he hasn't been in the right role yet. Can be aged into yogurt in a cellar. Okay? I don't have a cellar yet. I didn't realize that we were building towards that. I have not yet cooked just an egg, I don't think, so let's cook one egg. I found something you might like, perhaps. Here's a gift from my collection. I hope you appreciate the value of such oddities. And I've not seen the entirety of John Leguizamo's work. It feels like he's a lot of talent in search of a project that can really bring that out. And yes, I know that he was in Ant-Man. The Ant-Man movies are like a big... it was okay. You know, they're fine. Crow saying calling Spawn a neutral hero. I don't know why that's funny. I really like the idea of somebody who's like, yes, I vote present. Why did I come back to the boat? Oh, because it was nighttime. And I'm thinking that maybe the person that I need to interact with is not available at night. Eggs sunny side up, a brand new recipe. And I bet that we can do some other cool stuff. Could we do eggs and ham? I feel like we have not done this yet. I bought those pork chops to cook for Uncle Atoll, and now I'm giving them away. Lord Imp is saying Spawn isn't really a bad guy. Yeah, doesn't he spend most of his time like fighting against Satan? Like he got done wrong and manipulated into leading Satan's army, so now he's just like super pissed off about it. I feel like Todd McFarlane gets a lot of flack, but whether it was Todd McFarlane or like one of the writers or something else, I remember reading or like seeing at least parts of like a Spawn comic book like back in the 90s and really thinking that there was some cool imaginative artwork in there, particularly for the design of hell. I remember one frame of having like these really large spiders that were lumbering around trying to catch the souls of hell and ingest them whole so they could be dissolved in this like gelatinous transparent sack on their back, like part of their carapace. And it's just like just being hunted by those things for eternity as one of the many things that exist in hell to just really screw you over. You did what? What a treat. I can't wait to see how you replicated my old house. It won't be filled with memories, but we'll make new ones. Oh, Sweet Pea, you went above and beyond. More importantly, how was it? How was Anthony? Did he still have that spark? That certain je ne sais quoi? Oh, you know what? Don't tell me. I'd rather see him for myself. Your words won't do him justice. You remember my friend from back home, Carol? The one with 4 kids? The one who had that car accident? Carol?
She would always talk about her crushes. She would go on and on about these Greek gods, and then, in person, they were all shaped like celery and had bad posture. That's a very funny description. Shaped like celery and had... I don't know why that's so funny. Oh, I really like that. They were nothing to write home about. Carol had the wrong taste in men. Her husband was not the catch she claimed he was. Enough about Carol and her poor choices. We should go see Anthony. I'll bring you along to chaperone this little escapade. Okay, that was Beverly, by the way. On my way to a happier day. Got it. Now, hold on a second. Can I really not... There must be a way to get up to that from here. Why did I not do this before? It's a weird thing to just, like, not go do. Crow is saying he's a bit like Deadpool, and I love Deadpool. I'd say, like, again, I'm not super familiar. I feel like Deadpool has a sense of humor about himself. I don't feel like Spawn is very self-aware. That dude takes himself ultra seriously, and... Rah! I did feel bad for, like, the people that they cast in Spawn, though, because that's the thing. Like, the Spawn movie... The things that make that movie bad, I don't think are the performances. Who's in there? Like Martin Sheen and John Leguizamo, and I don't remember the name of the guy that they got to play Spawn, but like he showed up and he did his work. First time. Am I misremembering something? Build the lounge. Surf and turf to the woodworker. Working in a cafe there. Oh, no. He has heard of a master woodworker living in Oxbury, but we couldn't get in touch with him. Perhaps his partner working in a cafe there. Okay, so I'm looking for a cafe in Oxbury. Have you found him yet? Probably wasting his time daydreaming in a park. So that's the guy who's telling me that I need to go to the park. Okay, let's go to the park then. I lost track of where I was supposed to bring the surf and turf. I can't wait to hear what Anthony's been up to. Al Simmons, if I'm correct, says Lord Impa. That sounds... Oh, hold on, we have to go talk to Beverly. Here it is, and we're going to bring on a new cast member. Stay back. Down here. Wow, that was something else. I haven't felt this alive in years. Before we go for a little adventure, I should take a look at that house. Okay, so I think Astra's probably going to want to have some food. Yes, she is famished. I just gave her noodle soup last time, so let's give her some rice. And a hug. Oh, Al Simmons was it sounded right, but I was like, apparently that's Spawn's original name. Michael Jai White. And hello to Grumpy. Grumpy, have you made any additional attempts at a bike riding stream yet? Or is it going to be the limitations on your data? Because I know that you were looking and being like, oh man, that took up way too much stuff. Okay, bacon and eggs. Is there anything else I can do with eggs? I could use up my 1 milk. What do you want to bet? I'm guessing omelet? Milk and eggs? Hold on. We want to... I think we want to go on our way to the park. Before I forget again. I don't know if it will let us into the cabin here. It will. All right. The park is... God damn it, this place also has zinc that I apparently can't find or get to. Either that, I didn't recognize it when I was there. That I can't get to. Ambertown Park, there we go. Okay, now we'll go see Beverly. Oh no, Grumpy got a flat on the day that he streams, so he's bikeless the next day or two. And I have to get the GoPro mounted and find my Wi-Fi. I'm sorry about the flat, that sucks. Also, we are getting a like a produce alert. Scrambled eggs, okay. That also would work. We will say hello to Beverly in a bit. I wonder what Caroluna finally decided on, what's it called? Why am I thinking Dead by Daylight? Darkest Dungeon. He was on the fence about whether or not to refund Darkest Dungeon 2, because he really wasn't feeling it. It is entirely his decision, but based on his reaction, I hope that he did. I feel like he's going to be happiest if he gives that one a little bit of extra time in the hopper and then comes to a decision. Because I feel like he will... Caroluna reminds me a bit of Jab, for example, where I don't think that Caroluna... And, like, he might come along and say this is incorrect. I don't think Caroluna plays like a huge, like a large number of games, but I think that the games that he likes, the ones that he like really cottons to, is like, yeah, this is like the one that I like. He'll play those for thousands of hours, and that is every bit as viable a way to play games as the way that I tend to play them, which is usually play through to the conclusion of the story, and then it's kind of rare that I'll go ahead and revisit them after that. And under those circumstances, like if he doesn't hew to it, like Darkest Dungeon 2, it's like, okay, maybe this is not going to be the one. And it would, it would suck to have something just squatting in your Steam inventory that you're like, yeah, man, remember when I could have returned this and then I chose not to? What's this? This isn't my old house. This is a dump. Have you ever seen a house before? It looks like a kid's drawing of a house. It looks like a dog made it. Is this a joke, Stella? If it is, it's not a good one. I'm mortified that you'd want me to live in this. That you think this was my home, and my children's and my husband's? We lived in a cozy little farmhouse. I know this was years before I moved to the city and you and I met, but this is just a giant clock with some leftover hay inside. I know you tried your best, but this is a mistake. I can't stay here. I can't go on with you, especially with that as my house. Oh, I'm so sorry, Beverly. We already set sail, so suck it up. And on top of that, I can't believe Anthony gave you the wrong plans. I need to go back to Oxbury. Let's go. Sorry, we're headed somewhere else. I think we have to go back to Oxbury later for something else anyway. Hey, kid. What's this I hear about a kitchen on board? Subtle. Whoops. Talk. Something with 2 ingredients. Well, scrambled eggs has, oh, man, Daffodil's wigging out. Daffodil, relax. Can I give a hug? Yeah, if anybody missed the stream at the time, Grumpy did an IRL stream of biking on his normal. Okay, we got 3 eggs, and all of the chickens are gone. Oh no, they're asleep. I can apparently have 2 more chickens, so we will do that. And now, you know what I think this bottom area is for? I think the cows live down here. I think we got a 2-for-1. I think this is a chicken coop and a cow barn. I may be wrong. Okay, we've arrived, but I think that what we're going to do is go to sleep, and then we'll go ashore tomorrow morning and see if we can deliver the surf and turf. I hope I'm at the right park. Okay, hold on. The roosters are awake, or hens. I hope there's not an achievement for ringing the ship bell a certain number of times, because I feel very comfortable not forcing the crew to get up when they don't want to. Daffodil is also very, very cool around the chickens. He's a very good-hearted cat. Like any of the animals that we have would chase those chickens. Okay. If this person is bumming around the park, we just have to find an entrance. There we go. What, really? Right on! Best day ever! I mean, yes, satisfactory. And now for your little submission. I have very good ideas, fantastic ideas, but we still haven't discussed my fee. Now, this is absolutely non-negotiable. I will need 450,000 glims, and that's the friend's price. For an artist of my talent, it would be blasphemous to ask anything less. And then we'll be close again. And you'll just see how well I can do on my own. And you'll know I'm not just some lazy slob, and you'll fall in love with me all over again. I can't believe my plan is going so well. Unless... just one last thing, but of the utmost importance. I have a strict rule against mixing my professional and romantic life. So under no circumstances should you tell my partner in Oxbury about our dealings. You understand? No circumstances. Okay, also do not press this button. Jab would rather play games that I enjoy. If I don't enjoy something, I don't hesitate to quit the game. I will persist through a game if I feel like the thing that I'm not enjoying might overall be a relatively small part of it. Or, like, sometimes I found that things don't land for me at first, but then with a little bit more, or recontextualizing, I'm like, oh, now I get it. Final Fantasy VII was a good example of that. If you guys ever watched that particular series, I was having some trouble with it. And as I went through, there's one episode where it's like, I think I know what the problem is. I'm playing this like it's an action game because it looks like an action game. It's not. It's an RPG. And I think that I need to start thinking about the game mechanics more in RPG terms. And then I started having a lot of success. So that was just about like adjusting the way I was thinking about the game to suit the game that it actually was. So I will try to give a game like a fair shot like that. I try to be careful about quote-unquote playing it wrong. And I'll do that sometimes. I think everybody does. They come into a game with certain expectations or like just like not have understood part of the mechanics or the tutorial or something correctly. So they're just going on about it wrong, and what they perceive to be a design issue or a progression issue is actually just like, no, you're doing it wrong. And I try to watch out for that. And once in a while, it works out well, like it did with Pentiment, which I talked about this at the time. That was a that was a rough first episode of Pentiment, and then it got much, much, much better as we went through it. And then there's other times where I'm like, okay, I have given this a fair shot, and I'm out. Like, this is not going to be a project for me. No slur against the people that made it, but this one's just not going to be it. And like we had a case of that earlier this year. It was like, okay, this is for somebody that is not me. So we have been explicitly told not to go back to Oxbury and talk to that person's partner. And we have a couple different reasons to go there, because now Beverly wants to go back there too. So, are we going to just fast travel? I think we will. I might also, you know what, we're very close to this, and this is not, pulsar rays are different than the shooting stars that we've done. So let's go there, and there. Lord Imp is also saying that I think this is true for most players out there. There are people out there who they prioritize finishing a game over enjoying a game. And I do try to be careful about that as well. I feel like it's going to get less windy, so we'll try to put this down at the bottom edge of things. First and foremost, I think the most important rule is you, being whoever it is that is hearing this sentence spoken aloud, whoever you might be, should play games in the way that you enjoy them. And if that means multiplayer against random people, if that means co-op with your friends, if that means taking a game that was intended to be multiplayer and making it into like just playing it solo, whatever it is that you enjoy, you should do, with the sole exception of not ruining other people's fun. I think that's outside the bounds. If the way you enjoy something is to like rip up somebody else's enjoyment of it, that's not cool. But other than that, if Darkest Dungeon 2 comes out and it gets the best reviews in the world and everybody is absolutely in love with it, and you try it out and you're like, no, this is missing the things that I liked from the Darkest Dungeon 1, that's a perfectly fair assessment. And it is best for you to say, this is not going to be for me. Jab says, also, I am old, which means some games are just too complex in the menus for me to play. Oh, whoops. I thought I was watering, not doing that. Onions? I don't remember planting onions. Those might be our first onions. I didn't know that we had onions. This feels like it's come as a surprise to me. Lord Impa is proudly a completionist and will take the time to wander around into the game. I will, as you guys have seen, I wouldn't consider myself a completionist, not in the sense that Patikin is. Like, Patikin will go to get 100% in games. He wants all of it. Like, he said that he wants to do a... By the way, what's happening right now? Is there a pill bug for us? Oh, this is what it is. Let's sell miniature diorama, not the bovine license. I believe I need this. Poster, ring, and old painting. Now, can I buy anything from you? Odd seeds, I do like buying those, and empty bottles. Errands. We already got the peach seeds. Hold on, why? I should be able to do this. Yeah. Alright, we'll get some tomato seeds. I don't think that I have any of those. Garlic seeds, that's new. Oh, we got a sockeye salmon at some point. We can get some maple syrup. I do not have a yellowfin tuna. I do have enough to get this amethyst. We'll get that, and that. And I don't actually need this. Oh, yes, I do. I was about to say I don't need it, but the 500 glims would be nice. Okay, wow, that was profitable. Hey, be a dear. You wouldn't happen to have a little nosh. Okay. We're counting on you here. Show us what you got. Ready? Let's do this. Lord Impa invested 342 hours into Breath of the Wild when a normal player would play it in less than 70 at most. So I'm not sure that I'd say a normal player would do that though, because I feel like I know lots of people, Impa, that are like have spent a ton of time in that game because they enjoy it, and that's the way in which they enjoy it. To go around, do all the shrines, and not just the main story temples. There's people out there that want to speed run it. There's people out there that want to, like they're not interested in doing all the expert stuff. They just sort of want to like, okay, I've played this. There's people like me who will typically go in and yuck. Sorry. Oh, he went around. Yeah, even if it were true that quote-unquote normal people do it this way, who cares? I submit to you, who cares what normal people do? Do what you do. And I suspect that that's your point. I'm just underscoring, like, yeah. Son of a bitch. Oh my god, there were 3 there. If I just stand relatively here, do I get something? I think Daffodil picked that up for me. Yuck. I did really badly at that. Oh, hold on. Because Jad was saying, so take Riftbreaker. It's a game that I really enjoy watching, but that menu is way too complex for me. The menu is easier to navigate, I found, once I realized that you could go from, like, page to page by doing the, what is it? Q and E, I think, allow you to scroll very quickly between pages. Up until then, I found it a little bit unwieldy. I will say, and you guys have seen this on the Riftbreaker streams, I have difficulty telling the little symbols apart. Like, I can, for whatever reason, recognize, like, the mine layer tower, but there's other towers, like the railgun and the artillery tower. I always have to double-check which one I am by the text description. I have a feeling that my playtime in this, for example, is going to come in longer than most people's. Just because I'm not playing it the most efficient way, and I'm trying to keep all of my various industries and stuff, like, churning. Oh, by the way, we stopped moving. We're in the Twilight Zone, but we got the Pulsar ore that we came for. So now it's back to Roxbury. Or Oxbury. Yeah, and to get there, let's just go directly to the bus stop. We shall fast travel the rest of the way there, and fish while we go. Lord Impa really likes the graphics in Riftbreaker. It is incredibly, like, Riftbreaker looks so good, and they make it look so effortless, like it runs so well, that it really is hard to be like, why don't all games look this good? Like, yesterday we were in a new zone, for example. I don't want to spoil anything for people who don't want to know a lot about the game, but we're mowing through, just absolutely scything through these, like, swarms of enemies, and they're all shattering apart into, like, these crystalline remnants that then, like, bounce and skitter across the floor. It looks absolutely great. It's this bloodless sort of carnage in this one area of the map. Wow. This one might just straight up get away. Forget about snapping the line. Yeah. Whatever that was did not want to be caught. Riftbreaker is a game that understands that there's a high degree of satisfaction in building a base and then seeing its defenses tested, and in the testing of that being filled with, like, just screen-wide carnage, just a river of enemies coming in. It's very good for that. Imp is also saying RTS games are really kind of badass in their own right. I remember I played Command and Conquer, which was not the first RTS game. I think most people consider Dune 2 to be the first real-time strategy game, but I played Command and Conquer back in the day. I beat it on both sides, GDI and NOD, that was not a very easy game. It's not like super hard, but I knew a lot of people at the time who tapped out because some of the missions would get very, very tricky. I remember in particular that game had, is this gonna tell me about the Crusher again? You can't be that hungry though. Like you've been eating all along. Those have one ingredient. Let's give you rice pudding. And I think you just, oh, no, we didn't give a hug. So they're still very upset, like they want a home, but I don't think that I can build them a home until they quote-unquote decide to stay, and that requires the building of the Crusher, which requires zinc, which I haven't been able to get my paws on yet. Yeah, well, I think it's... Oh boy, I am super failing at getting on the boat. It is late. I want to see, very optimistically, if we can have this conversation, because otherwise I'm just going to be sitting on the boat. I hope you'll consider making it up to me. My old home was very important. To make sure there isn't any more confusion, here's what it should look like. We lived on a farm. There was nature all around us. We had dogs and goats running around everywhere. It was a quaint little farmhouse. It wasn't run down. It had character. It was big enough for the whole family. Look at Sella taking notes, by the way. Like her little, note board with the Everlight. Better? That should be as clear as day. I hope it'll be right this time. And chin up, Sweet Pea. It's only a setback. As you know, I'm allowed to be bossy because I am very old. Okay, so now we've got Beverly's farmhouse. If we could... So, it was in the cafe, wasn't it? Yeah, if he's still on duty. Found him yet? What? How much? 450,000 glims? Seriously, what a hack. That's way above what he normally charges. Where did he even get that Oh, I think I understand now. The apartment next to mine is currently on the market. The asking price is 450 glims, non-negotiable. Very subtle, man. Also very creepy. You know what? I can't just let him fend for himself. He's so helpless. It's only been 3 days and he started conning innocent bystanders. Besides, I was already planning on letting him move back in. I just wanted to teach him a lesson. Just tell him he can come back, okay? But make sure he understands from now on he has to do some chores. I can't do everything for him. I'm not his mom. Okay. Eric Deskman. Now we have to go back to the park, which we're not going to be doing tonight because now it is sleep time. Lord Impa says that Age of Empires 2 was his. I think it's first. My first ever RTS game, and then it went to Halo Wars. Wow! I don't know very many people who played Halo Wars. I always wanted to play Halo Wars and didn't. To StarCraft and WoW and now Age of Empires 4. Age of Empires 4 seems like it'd be pretty cool. And I know that it's gotten expanded and updated over the years. I think that we have it, but has not yet been played. Let's check our chicken coop. Let's get more chickens if we can. The chicken coop is full. Okay. Is the feed bag full? It is not full. It is full of being empty. There's nothing in it. So we want to give it seeds. I think sunflower seeds are probably our best bet. Where are they? Because we have so many of them. Am I completely blanking? It's 62. They're right there. I will check the letter. I think that we want to go to the park next. Which is here. And yes, I could fast travel, but we've got some stuff to do, like reading this letter. Beatarama delivery package. Here's your package. Feederama employee number 2322. So heartless now. Like just here it is. Delivery acquired. Let's see if we can build Beverly's place. Beverly's farmhouse. So we would need silk fabric, and then more concerning, clear glass sheet. The silk... Oh no, I can't do silk either. We don't have any worms. Yes. Among other things, we're saving up for a bigger boat. Jav's getting pretty close to finishing that build. Gonna miss it when it's done, but I'm most certainly not going to do it again. This is the build in Shadow Warrior 2. Also, Jav, I hope your quarterly backup went well. I mean, I assume that it did. You probably would have mentioned otherwise. Also, just randomly, YouTube served up a video about the gameplay changes that have been made in the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. And I guess the console edition that just came out a little bit ago this year, they were further enhanced over the version on PC. Some of the more subtle changes that people did notice was... on the PC, it had this one choice of font that was like excessively smooth, and people found it actually kind of hard to read, and it didn't jive well with the art style of the rest of the game. So I guess on console they added an ability to put in a font that people reacted well to, and is a little bit more pixely and better matches the intention of the game as being like an HD pixel remaster. I also did not realize that they sold those separately. Like, you can buy a package that has all of those Final Fantasy games, and it's like it's like $70 right now on Steam. Or you can buy them individually for like $17 or something, and they're not really on sale, even as part of the Steam Summer Sale. Foxtrot wants the original graphics. The smoothed out graphics look terrible on old games. Fox, I would recommend taking a look at this one because what they did is they remastered the original sprites so that they will display correctly on modern high definition LCD and plasma displays that don't naturally blur and sort of stretch the way that a CRT one did. So it maintains the spirit of the original graphics without having that awful cell phone look that, like, I know what you mean, and they're bad. I don't care for that sort of like looks like an animation cell kind of thing. It does not have that, because I agree with you about the smoothed out graphics. Hello to you, by the way. The fonts, however, do have that look, and it makes me curious to learn more about how the console version of the fonts look. Jab, once you're done with that particular build, do you think that you will do another one from scratch, or is this sort of... What are your future plans for Shadow Warrior 2? Also, like, examples of games with, like, kind of obnoxious menus. Like, that would be interesting to think about, because Jab is not alone in that. Of, like, just feeling, yeah, this guy's not going to grow any wool until we give him food. I don't even know that I need wool. I just don't like the idea that they're sitting here starving. You're getting kind of hungry. Give you whatever the most I have. No? Good. Feed me then. Pretty please. Oh, he's very upset. He likes... What does he like? Fine dining food and simulants. Do I have any fine dining? Lobster roll. Well, nobody else is going to have that. And a hug. Yeah, I don't even know what he does for us. Like, I guess his mood perk is that he'll flirt with other passengers. Fantastic. Let's definitely make sure that he's doing a lot of that. So I guess Fox has looked at it. They smoothed everything out and added new effects. Just give me the old retro. According to the video that we watched, I think it was like Final Fantasy II, they added some new spell effects. And maybe 5? I'm trying to remember. I am no expert on this. I thought it was interesting that these games had gameplay updates as well as just the pixel remastering. Jab says, I am not alone. A couple of years ago, I read an article about a 55-year-old gamer, and to a person, they avoid complex menus. Okay, I am back to talk to the person who hangs out in the park, I think. Oh. You talked to her? She said she'll have me back? Incredible. No more sleeping in the park. No more surviving off trash. Back to my dream life. Leisure and good food all day long. Thank you so much. As a sign of appreciation, I'll even waive my fee. There you go. Here's the final design. Look at the curves. Look at the perfect fit of the materials. Truly a masterpiece. This guy is so mad at me. Okay, but he's blocking the exit. I can tell you an example of a game that I grew to dislike the menus just because I had to visit them so often, which was The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, the original release on GameCube. Due to the design of that game, I felt like I had to go in and like drag things out of my inventory and assign them to a button way too frequently, and that actively started to interfere with my enjoyment of the game, something that was then fixed on the Wind Waker HD re-release. But that was less a case of it being complicated and more just like, oh, well, I've now solved like the second phase of this 8-phase puzzle. Now I have to go in and change the equipment around. Okay, now I did phase 5, so I have to go in and change the equipment around. Like, that got really old very, very quickly. That was the only Zelda game that I ever felt like that in. Twilight Princess, Minish Cap, like any other game, the original Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, I never had that problem. Something about the way Wind Waker was put together, just like, you can have like 3 items out, and in any given time you need to have like 7 quick access to. Okay, now we can build the desk that all of that was about, and this goes to Gustav, I think. Yes, vintage modernist desk. I can afford it. All I need is the silk thread, which I don't have. Okay, so I feel a little bit concerned that I'm at an impasse. What should I be doing? The crusher requires zinc. I've not been able to find any zinc. The chicken coop we built, field, windmill, sawmill, sheep corral, garden, etc. Okay. Beverly's farmhouse requires silk fabric and clear sheet glass, which I've never even seen. Like, maybe you can smelt like regular glass to make it into a clear sheet. I don't know. That doesn't really feel like how it would work, but sure. I mean, you melt glass, maybe you can like smooth it out. And then there's that, Gustav's gallery. Yeah, we don't have any options. The only house that we can build requires 2 materials that I do not have yet. And then the lounge also requires some zinc. Okay. We can't build the crusher. We can't build the picture frame that I know of. I can't get to the oil for the chicken that I know of. Build the lounge. I can't get the modernist desk. I can't get a smithy that I know of, and I can't build the farmhouse. There's got to be something that I'm missing. I don't quite have the funds for the silent orca. I don't have zinc ingots, and I don't have silica powder. I legitimately don't know right now. So, when in doubt, I do feel like we could explore. We have not been, or have we been to Flotsam Shores? I promise I can't remember if I've been here. Isn't that that's the floating cargo container city, isn't it? I feel like it is. Jab says that he's not going to do another build. Doing another one is pretty crazy. Doing 2 would be stupid. I'll probably do what I used to do. Start a game and run it up to Insane 4 and never craft a thing ever again. Well, at least you will have, like, accomplished this. Like, this current build. Olive seeds. I don't feel like I've found any olive seeds yet. And bovine licenses. Well, shoot, man. So, I'm sorry, where am I right now? I'm here. Let's go here. Like, let's see if we can find anything else on the horizon. Because I feel like at this moment, I have a pretty significant blockade in my ability to progress, and it's called zinc. Just double check that I haven't picked up any accidentally at some point. Aluminum. Yeah. Might as well smelt some silver while we're going. Okay, that was way too hot. Yeah, we might lose this batch. We lost this batch. Lord Impus says Wind Waker was really rushed. GameCube at that time was kind of dying, so it resulted in them to rush Wind Waker for another blockbuster game, which is such a bad decision. I have not heard that particular measurement of Wind Waker, but I have not looked into like the development of it, so I can't say one way or the other. Lord Impa also did not care for the graphics, saying the graphics were also a massive insult. I will confess that when I first saw the cel-shaded graphics of Wind Waker, like when it was first announced at E3, I was very disappointed. It looked to me like a kid's game. It looked like a big step back from what I had envisioned a next generation, what was then a next generation Zelda game would be like. Okay, we're heading towards the edge of the universe, so let me change course down here. However, once I started playing it and like I saw those graphics in motion with like the swirly clouds that would come up when you like had the bomb, or like that slow-mo effect when you landed like a killing blow. Once I actually saw it in context. Oh, and by the way, like it had this system where Link would look at things in the environment that were important. And it sounds like a really minor thing, but when it's actually like there, you're like, oh, what's he looking at? Oh, like that's him, you know, that's relevant. I should pay attention to that myself. I really liked Wind Waker in the balance, but Wind Waker HD, like the remake that they did, is the quality of life improvements of that sound minor and could not be overstated. They're really great. Like, Nintendo then gave people the art style that they said that they wanted in Twilight Princess, like a more mature Link, you know, more, sort of like more realistic visual presentation all around. I love the way that Twilight Princess looks. I feel like Twilight Princess is treated like the black sheep of the Zelda family. It really feels like a lot of people did not care for it. I love that game. And not because of the more realistic Link. What I like about it is how that... Okay, but sure, we just won't get that one then. Oh boy. Oh, the roof on that cuckoo clock is terrible. Okay, dude, what do you want? He shouted kid that entire time. Okay. And he just went to sleep. Okay, it is the end of the night. I thought that Twilight Princess felt great to play. I really like the... I've talked about this, I think, even recently. The... contrast between this sort of, like, middle fantasy, like, kind of realistic everything, and then this, like, Tron-like style of, like alien... Like, what feels like alien invaders coming in from this alternate dimension where everything is, like, harsh and angular and looks like... It looks like Tim Burton did Tron. Like, it really has this completely distinct art style to it that clashes really hard with the rest of the game in a way that's intentional and absolutely works. But yeah, I remember seeing a lot of people were like, boo, no, we want a more mature Link. And then they got it with Twilight Princess and people were like, ah, well, what else do you have? Fox is saying, I just checked the video and you can now have the old soundtracks. Is this for the Zelda games? We have never had garlic before. So we're going to grow some garlic. And tomatoes. I feel like we've never had those before. Fox is saying that he will buy it now. And it's so off-putting playing a pixel game and having an orchestra where it doesn't belong. That was another thing they talked about. There's one, like, opera scene in Final Fantasy VI that is very well regarded. It's like the game is one of the game's most iconic moments. In the Pixel remaster, like, they really gave that extra attention, and I think the creator of the video specified that they sort of, like, took some lessons from their work on Octopath Traveler to add some extra to it. I keep growing potatoes and have not baked anything out of potatoes. Chicken coop is full. Grab some extra eggs. I bet that we've stopped. Yeah, I just tried to bring up the pathway indicator and we are not moving. Fox is a big fan of the opera scene, uniquely the old one. I guess we'll head down here. As we're going, though, because we will continue traveling, I don't know what these symbols are. See those right there? There's, like... meteor shower, comet rocks. Isn't that what's over here, too? It is. Okay, I don't know what these, arrows are, then. Okay, well, let's head to the crates. I don't know how to get zinc. There is some way to do this. I don't know what it is. A bucket of fried chicken. There must be something more to it. The one Zelda game that I really didn't warm to by the time that I'd finished it was Minish Cap. And there's people out there where either that was their first Zelda game or that's one that they really, really like. So, like, I mean no, disrespect towards Minish Cap, but that one mechanically just didn't work for me in the way that so many others had. Let's head down here. I don't think that we're meant to just blindly explore, though. This isn't really a uncover the whole map sort of game. It's kind of like follow up on your quest line, and we're going to help clarify how to continue. and I'm missing something. Like, there's some logical leap that I've failed to... Not logical leap. I am misunderstanding something because I'm not doing it right. Build the crusher. Okay, let's go through this one at a time. Let's really do this. So if I wanted to build a crusher... Crusher. This requires 5 zinc ingots, so I cannot do it. Let's look here. Picture frame. I'm going to double check the picture frame. Improve Atoll's place. Picture frame requires comet powder. I believe I need to take comet like dust or like comet like chunks and grind them up into comet powder. Not improve, sorry. Fried chicken. I have chicken. As far as I know, I need to fry it in fat, like oil, and I don't have any of that. Build the lounge. Let's check the lounge. Lounge requires zinc ingots. Okay, so we cannot do that. The vintage modernist desk. We would go to improve, and that would go right here. And that would require silk thread. So I don't necessarily need zinc. I could also progress with a little bit of silk. Before I give up on this, I have no silk here. Okay, so we've not found any of that. Comet shower. I'm gonna say no for the first time ever. Because we've gotten lots and lots and lots of chunks. I like getting the more money, but we don't want to spend our whole lives on it. Okay. Next up. Build a smithy. Can I do a smithy? I don't even have smithy on the list so far. I don't even have smithy on the list. So... Coral bouquet. I can't do that because I don't have the zinc ingots. Immense size. Albert ship table. So this requires... to upgrade the blueprint table, which might be what you need to get the smithy, we need silica powder and zinc ingots. Everywhere I look, it's evidence that I need zinc to get the crusher to then get all the powders. At least I think, like, if you're gonna make a powder out of something, you're probably crushing it. That's my general thought. So, let's hit the map table. And yeah, we sort of came down here. So that's the bottom of the map. Blueberry. Olive seeds. In fairness, we did not get those. And then Flotsam Shores has zinc ore in it, which I don't feel that I can get absent having the, or without having the, what's it called? And then there's this whole area in here. Like, there could be a whole thing in there that I need to go check out in order to progress. So... let's set a course here, here, and then we'll just go directly into the center of this and see what we can find. Because otherwise, like, it's... I've been to the places where it's like, oh, there's zinc ore here. And when I look around, I'm not finding any. I am finding areas of that map, that settlement location that I cannot get to because very specifically I don't have bounce ability. In order to get bounce ability, I need one more obol. I can't get that because I cannot do the quest for people because I don't have bounce ability. Like, I feel like I'm in a little bit of a loop, and this can't be intentional. There's something that I've overlooked or some additional piece of information. So we're going to do our best to get back on track. And then if we really get stuck, I can have a look at it online, but I'd prefer it if we can sort of figure it out. Foxman said, actually, speaking of Final Fantasy, I completely forgot how beautiful the intro was to Final Fantasy VI. Just a slow walk through the snow toward a bank in giant mech suits. I remember seeing that game for the first time. My friend HW had it, and like we go back a long ways. I remember seeing Final Fantasy, what was here in the United States, Final Fantasy 2 and 3 for the very first time. Today you'd call them 4 and 6. And I remember us him showing me like that intro where you're firing like these huge rainbow colored lasers off of this mech suit. And it's like, this is mechanically identifiable as Final Fantasy, but everything else about it, like this like sci-fi aesthetic, that was where I sort of realized like, oh, this Final Fantasy franchise, this could be anything. Like they could apply this to sci-fi, fantasy, anywhere in between, and in fact, they have ever since then. Hold on, let's open up some of our glims and stuff. We've got 6 large glim bottles. 1 medium. That's it for now. Let's also cook something. I'll take planks. I made some planks. And I will give you food in exchange for planks. Can we cook something cool? Can I do some crab cakes? I feel like that's definitely been a while. Crustaceans. I don't feel like I have any crabs. Let's cook up some mussels. Oh. I was actually going to look to see what else I could mix them with, but I pressed the wrong button. Crowd always wanted one of those Magitech suits. Imagine double parking in one. The person that you double parked on would not be able to squeeze their way out, and they also would not give you a hard time about it. I always remember in Final Fantasy IV, my friends and I always called the character Rydia, and now as an adult, I suspect that it would probably be pronounced Rydia, R-Y-D-I-A. I remember like when we were young and younger, and Street Fighter was in arcades. It did not have any spoken dialogue, so more than one of us, and I want to say that I was among this, believed the character's name was Guile, who just had not yet encountered that word guile in like written down, which today is like, oh my god. Were we ever that young? But yes, we were. I would have a snack or something. Something exotic or fine dining. Well, we'll give him some old-fashioned now that Alice is off the boat. Hey, we found our way accidentally someplace. Let's check out Sandwich Walk. Hold on. Stop. Stop the boat. I want to get off. We gotta pull around. Oh! I'm at this moment, I think I'm sort of waiting for the Z's to come around. But let's do some fishing. It's better than just standing here doing nothing. Final Fantasy IV, that's of the entire franchise. I think that when you say to me Final Fantasy, that's usually the one that most immediately comes to my mind. That was such an important game for like myself and my friends. Again, HW had all those Final Fantasy games, but he would like either loan them out or like we'd actually go to his place and play our characters. Like we'd each have our own save game. And I remember I feeling like, I don't know if honored is quite the right word, but it felt special, like having my own save game on his cartridge. And he would of course play on his time, but then every time that we went over, like I'd play in my game. And this was like proto Twitch, man. This was like way before Twitch was, like years and years before Twitch was ever a thing. I didn't know that we could sleep, but we can. Where we would watch each other's play and we would trade like strategies and talk about it. Like, oh, what level do you have to be to get past this fight and stuff? That was a big deal. And that was, to my memory, like that was a big Final Fantasy IV event for us. We did a lot of that in Final Fantasy VI, but like I don't remember finishing Final Fantasy VI alongside my friends in the same way that I think we all finished Final Fantasy IV on that cartridge. Also, I don't want to be morbid, but do you think that we can, like, harvest the chickens at some point? Like, get ourselves some fresh chicken? Okay, what do you have to say? I'm seeing visions of past meals. That can't be a good sign. He is indeed very hungry.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and he likes that. Let me give him a hug. I really do like to try to keep people in good spirits. Oh, and it's a bit after 1:30. I want to check this place because I'm not, you know, well, if I can't find some way to progress here, I am not above interacting with Dr. Google about what to do next. Let's feed this guy, have some corn, and then come with me. Okay, we're gonna go back to the boat really quick. So we'll have to build a new corral for that sheep. Oh, but what I was going to say is that if I can't, like, find some way to progress, I'm not above looking it up. I will probably do that on stream just for clarity. But I'd rather figure out some way... Oh, and we learned a recipe for garlic bread. I'm a big fan of ads. They tell me what to think. It's not science. It's a way of life. And this is similar to the glowing... purple, shadowy light bulb at the lighthouse that I don't know what to do with. It seems kind of important. Okay, I will trust these large red arrows. Oh, and indeed, they led me to riches. Mulberry seeds and an amethyst. Yeah, it's telling me that there's something up above. This may well be everything. Oh. Party that was... Wait, do I remember a party? Was it just me? I remember people. Were there even people? I'm so lost. This kind of feels like... Until we know how to interact with that light bulb, which I don't... Okay, show me map. So we do see that there's some crates up there. I've not found any metals present. There's one other place. There's a quarry over here that has 2 question marks on it. Iron, coal, slate, mushrooms, rare chest, blueprint chest, but theoretically, something in there could be zinc. I don't feel like I'm supposed to be stuck on this. That's the kick. Is like, this place is over the edge of like a fog line. This place is over the edge of a fog line. South Point Docks reportedly has zinc. And where am I? I'm here. Ash log. And then zinc ore. I don't know. I can't find any zinc there. I've been there twice. Gold ore is also apparently here. Let's skirt around there. And this will probably be the last place that we go for this episode. I would very much prefer to figure this out rather than looking it up. But I am earnestly mystified. Let's see about another sheep corral while we're going. Build. No. Sheep corral. So I would need some copper ingots and oak planks. A lot of oak planks, it turns out. Let's start by starting to smelt the copper. Fox is saying, if you haven't finished Final Fantasy VI, maybe you can do it on your stream. Fox, it would be really interesting, I think, to revisit Final Fantasy VI. I will say this about it. Many years after first playing the Super Nintendo version at HW's place, I replayed a very good chunk of it. I would say probably a little bit more than half on the Game Boy Advance version, when the Game Boy Advance version came out. And I had a very good time with it up until I got to, let's go with the second half of it. And then I felt like I sort of like had my fill of it. And that's where I went to. But that was many years ago. And I will say this, I find that streaming is very clarifying for like staying on a game until it's done. If we just cook wheat, what do we get? Do we know? I'm thinking bread. The way this game works. Maybe that would be wheat flour, if all we just cooked was that. Let's see what we get from just that. Oh, what I was going to say is that games where I'll sort of like drift away and wander off to other things when played solo by myself, that is much less likely to happen with streams because I would like there to be a complete playthrough for you guys, for the channel, for other people to discover in the future. I like having people, at least the idea that people would come to the channel and see, oh, like these are full playthroughs all the way through to the credits. Maybe not 100%, maybe not everything in the whole game, but they are a good faith attempt to see what is in the game, and I like going that way. So it helps to keep my focus on things that might not otherwise be seen through. So maybe if I did do Final Fantasy VI on stream, I would finally be able to see, play it through all the way to the end. And with the Pixel remasters, I think it would probably be a relatively trim playthrough because they offer a lot of quality of life options like speeding up the battles and stuff. So just from like an animation standpoint, you get through it. Bravely Default did this fantastically. Like I adore the combat system in Bravely Default, not only because it's highly respectful of your time and understands like, hey, sometimes you've got like a lunch break that you're trying to like get through some stuff on, but also it's not interested in making you grind in the unfun standard of the word. It understands there might be time when you either need to power up or get yourself extra money or extra resources, and it just like lets you speed run that in a way where be cool and don't worry about it. Take these lemons. I don't want them in my life. I don't need the trouble. Oh, I got 100 lemons. Ride the lemon dragon. This is new. Maybe I just never talked to this person? Talk to the lemon vendor in Oxbury. Okay. Well, hey, now we've got a lead. It's better than I had a minute ago. Don't tell me this is zinc. I'm going to throw a fit. No, marble. Okay. I mean, yes, I would have liked it to have been zinc, but it's like, was it here the whole time? Did I really somehow miss out on it? Like, what's this? You guys, I was looking everywhere. I was looking everywhere. I don't know how I missed this. I've been here before, haven't I? Foreman, but my ways. Wait, have I never been here? We might lose our. I've never had these conversations. We might lose our jobs next week. It's a big secret. In one of those containers is a bunch of robots that might replace us. We're literally shipping robots that will take our jobs. It's pretty depressing. Okay, well, I can't go up higher than this. Zinc opens the door for us. I do not know how... I feel like I've never been here before. Does anybody... Sometimes the viewers are more on the ball than I am. Have I been to this location before? The conversations do not feel familiar to me at all. But now... what we can do, regardless of what was true a minute ago, what we can do now is now smelt. So I don't want to smelt all of our ore. I want to keep 3 because we want to plant them on the turtle and then get more zinc very quickly. We've got a very narrow smelting window here. But once we're up into it, it's just a matter of keeping it correct. Fox is saying, last Friday I watched a full playthrough of Killer Frequency and it looked pretty good. I feel like I've heard that name, but I'm not 100% sure that I've ever seen the game. There's one Persona game that you can make your side character split up and fight enemies on their own, and they get that experience and money whenever they encounter the enemy. Yeah, Persona 3. I remember that one. Maybe others, but definitely Persona 3, that was a thing. Like, when you were, like, leveled up and you felt confident that your people could, like, handle their business, you would just cut them loose. So cooking the wheat by itself was just a mess. Let's try cooking wheat flour by itself. I'm curious if we get anything. Okay, now I've got zinc. If I could accomplish one more thing before the end of the episode, it would probably be planting 3 zinc on the turtle, which we're very far away from any fast travel points. Let's go around that and well, we'll still be closer to Arena. At least we're getting going. Let me check our crops because I feel like we've got a lot of opportunities to water our plants here. But yeah, that was a very cool risk reward system in Persona 3 where you could say, oh, like I feel like my crew is good enough that they can like split up and go off on their own. So everybody split up and go fight the monsters and look for treasure on your own. And if they found the stairs to go to the next level, they'd call that out. If they found a treasure chest, they'd pick up the contents of it. If they found an exit where you could like go back to the start of the level and like rest and recharge, they'd call that out. And if they got in trouble, you could join their fight already in progress, provided you could find them. It was a really cool system. Bread. Got it. Okay, I bet bread is going to be very simple. Let me then cook some more of these, and then we'll have some bread to give to Astrid. If it'll let me, and it might not, we'll try to go to sleep so that we can... Hold on, let me just check the windmill. It is still going. Yeah, they never brought that system back for 4 or 5. Like, let's all split up in Persona. Among the other reasons that I wanted to rest is that I believe if it's nighttime, the turtles aren't out for you to plant the zinc on them. Okay, so there's some bread. Let's put in... So we do have something that we can cook with the maple syrup. I think it's salmon. Yes. Let's get some sweet salmon or whatever it's called. One of many reasons that I want to keep the farms going is that the chickens require a steady supply of seeds, and so far sunflower seeds have been great for filling that out. I still have not cooked a single thing with potatoes. Not that I remember anyway. Let's get another onion, or an onion. And... potatoes, because apparently I feel like I'm going to want to do a lot of like cooking practice with potatoes. They seem like a great base to intermix with other stuff. Yeah, he's going to be hungry. Let's feed him some fisherman's pie. And we might be there. This sounds like big turtle music. Yes. All right. Arena, I've got some brand new materials for you. Now, you want to plant immediately, but since it does take a second to actually, like, spawn that option, yeah, now we'll be able to. Quartz, limestone, we want zinc, yes. And this way, we will turn our 3 zinc into many zinc. Without necessarily waiting for that one harvestable to come up. I'm not, like, it's not even that I feel dumb about having the zinc right there. It's that what I don't understand is how... you know, what else was going on that I either never visited that place, or... Just make sure that she goes. Yes. Do I have more noodle soup for her? Yes. Okay, she loves it. Let's do a hug as well. Now, I think... So, I want to say that we're probably, like, basically at the end of this episode. I'm glad that we made it past that. So, we want to move at least some distance away. Let's get ourselves some new fire glow seeds. And now that we've moved away, yeah, let's just set a course for right there. Now, if we come back for the next episode and the turtle is back, so be it. But I think that between this, like, in-game day and the next, she'll come back. She'll have a lot of new, like, mineable resources on her back, and we will be very well set. Here, have a peach. Oh, he really liked that. No, he just said he had a hankering for it. Maple salmon. Maple salmon sounds like a really interesting combination. I don't know if I would care for it, but I'd like to try it. Okay. This is, I think, a very good place to save it. We're sort of between things, but we made some big breakthroughs in where we're headed next. Now that we have the zinc, we can do so many other things. Zinc needs to crusher, which I think leads to lounge, which some other stuff. So next episode, episode 12, should be a big, like, crafting episode. I feel like I got lucky there. We came very close to just, like, opening up Google, but... just checking one more place got it done, because like it says there's zinc here and we can't, like, there has to be some place to get this so that we can then get the bounce ability by using the zinc to solve a request. Which direction we come at it from, and I think that we've got a good plan now. Now, I actually went a little bit longer than expected, so we're going to go raid over to Patikin. Thank you guys so much. Fox, Harmonious Crow, Jab, Luca, Doctor... Let me just scroll back. Lord Impa as well. Grumpy. Solid Chrome Hickey was here earlier. Yeah, Marquack. We didn't get to hang out with Marquack as much as I was hoping for. And Blobbity Blah. Oh, I think I missed Blobbity Blah altogether. He said that he enjoyed Werewolf by Night as well. Which was, we have that, blah, 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 and haven't seen it yet. And Dougler, I think that I forgot to say to Dougler as well. You guys, let's go say hello to Patikin. I'm actually extremely hungry, so I'm going to have an irresponsible lunch. Until next time, you guys, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great afternoon.